Ariel wrote in saying, "Hey guys, isn't the book always better than the movie?" You have asked me about this, Lewis, where you at one point assumed I always felt that the book is better than the movie when I've read the book. I mean, in many cases it is, but I'm trying to think of some cases where the movie is actually better. Starship Troopers is definitely not an example. Let me mention that right now. I mean, here's the thing: it can be very hard to compare the experience of taking in a story through book form than when you compare it to movie form. If you read the book first and then go to the movie, inevitably there will be some elements that you sort of imagine in your mind, and then they are represented visually in a different way. And that can sort of be negative. It can feel negative because you've already sort of had a relationship to how you imagine these things to be when you had to come up with your own visualization of it. Then you see it in the movie and you have a sort of it can never really live up to what your imagination can come up with.
Yeah.
And I think that's one important thing.
That's like an automatic, inevitable, problematic conflict, I think, between reading a book and then watching the movie.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that, and it's got to be a distraction. I mean, there's no other way to word it. When you're watching that movie or reading the book afterwards, I mean, it's a distraction. And so, really, you're probably better off only doing one or the other.
You think, oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I try to just the best thing I can say is think about them as separate entities. And an example would be I saw the movie Blade Runner with Harrison Ford before I read Philip K. Dick's book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the inspiration for Blade Runner. And I love the movie and I love the book. I just think about them as two different interpretations of the same story. And I think when you do that, it's easier to sort of not get into this, well, which was actually better. Sometimes the movie comes after, typically the movie comes after the book. And, sometimes you'll have book content written as a spin-off to a movie universe that was created or whatever. I just try to think about them as different things. But if you ask me which one do I typically enjoy more, I'd say, yeah, often in retrospect, I end up feeling like the process of reading the book was better than watching the 2-hour movie.
And I have to say, since I don't really consume my fiction by reading it,
Yeah.
that, I prefer the movie, but that's because I don't really have many comparisons.
Send me some examples where the movie was definitely better than the book. I have trouble thinking of them, and maybe people in our audience will come up with some.